Detailed and long summary of the movie Immortals. Immortal is a mythological epic that blends action, fantasy, and symbolism set in an ancient world where ghosts and men still coexist. The story explores eternal themes, destiny versus free will, fight versus despair, the internal struggle between good and evil. Through stunning visuals and powerful storytelling, the film portrays how an ordinary man can rise to greatness when his purpose surpasses his own mortality. The protagonist, Theseus, is a humble peasant who lives under the looming threat of Hyperion, a ruthless and power-hungry king obsessed with releasing the Titans, divine beings imprisoned by the gods in the dawn of time. Hyperion seeks the Ebrius book, a weapon of infinite power capable of killing both gods and men. His ultimate goal is now merely conquest, but the destruction of divine order and the unleashing of chaos upon the world. Theseus rises by his mother secretly trained beyond all men who is actually Zeus, and this disguise grows up embodying the virtues of discipline, justice, and courage. Though Hades now believes in the gods, Satan as indifferent to human suffering, fate guides him toward becoming the chosen warrior destined to break the gap between heaven and earth. The conflict intensifies when Hyperion army attacks Theseus' village, brutally murdering his mother and burning everything he loves, driving big grave and raise Theseus where vengeance along his journey. He meets Phaedra, a visionary oracle who foresees his destiny as the savior of mankind. Their bond becomes both a love story and a spiritual awakening, a union of passion and purpose. Eventually, Theseus discovers and wields the Epiros bow, proving himself worthy of divine power. However, Hyperion's son seizes eye and uses his might to free the Titans, declaring war upon the gods themselves. The Olympians League be Zeus high below, watch humanity from afar. Won't be laws forbidding direct intervention, but when the balance of the cosmos highs, Triatonic they descend into the mortal realm to fight alongside mankind. The final battle is a breathtaking spectacle of mighty proportion. God versus Titans, man versus tyranny, light versus darkness. The fight embodies the eternal duality of creation and destruction. Theseus and his soldiers fight valiantly, showing that courage can elevate mortals to near divine status. In the climatic duel, Theseus faces Hyperion in a brutal confrontation driven not by hatred but by justice and duty. Though mortally wounded, Theseus defeats Hyperion, sacrificing himself for the survival of humanity. His deed becomes his ascension, self-honor, his bravery by taking him into the heavens, granting immortality. In the closing vision, Theseus' son goes and gazed upon the sky, saying his father among the gods, a symbol that human valor can transcend the deed itself. Immortal is far more than a tale of war and vengeance. It is a philosophical reflection on destiny, fate, and the human spirit. I suggest that will goes my whole power over life and death. I is human will and courage that defying the fate of the world, and the film's visual artistry, golden lighting, surreal landscapes, painterly vital scenes invokes the feeling of witnessing a meaningful performance. Each element carries symbolic weight. Blood represents sacrifice, darkness reflects moral corruption, and the society becomes the embodiment of man's eternal struggle for freedom and meaning. I sense immortal in a story of fight, destiny, and redemption in rebel tag, even in the shadow of divine power, human courage can shine. We are brilliance that transcending eternity. Cultural importance of the movie Immortals in humanity. The film Immortals left a lasting cultural impact by reimagining Greek mythology through a modern symbolic and philosophical lens. Though set in a world of gods, Ares, and Titans, its true strength lies in its universal message about human resilience, fight destiny, and sacrifice. At the time of I realized it reignited global interest in ancient myths will encouraging reflection on humanity roles in relation to divinity, freedom, and purpose. One of the film's most significant contributions was its modern interpretation of mythology. Unlike other films that merely recreate the classic tales, Immortal redefined tend to spread deeply human themes. The gods are not portrayed as distant or infallible beings, but as entities capable of thought, compassion, and admiration for human courage. This perspective suggests that true greatness does not belong to the divine book to mortals who face their fate with courage and conviction. Artistically, Immortals had a major influence on visual storytelling. Aesthetic rejected traditional rallies and embraced a stylized and symbolic approach, turning each frame into a living mythological painting. The use of golden light, contrast, and grand composition created a visual language of transcendence, where beauty brutality coexist. The distinctive style set a precedent and influenced later work that combine visual art with epic storytelling. On a deeper level, Immortal invited cultural reflection on the bond between gods and men, as well as the importance of faith and triumph despair in an increasingly materialistic and disenchanted world. The film offered an allegory of inner strength through the cells. I conveys that humans do not need divine intervention to shape greatness. They need willpower, courage, and justice. Thus, the film impulse upholds the concept of free will over destiny, asserting that true power lies not in what fate dedicates, but in the choices one dares to make. The movie also explored the eternal duality between destruction and creation. Hyperion symbolizes corruption, vengeance, and the hunger for control, while Theseus represents harmony between power and compassion. This moral conflict mirrors humanity's ongoing struggle, the tension between ego's destructive forces and the redemptive power of sacrifice. Cultural immortal revitalize interest in Greek mythology among younger audience. Inspired books, artwork, video games, and philosophical debates about how ancient myths can be reinterpreted into modern age. I influence transcended cinema, becoming a celebration of endurance and hope and the immortality of the human spirit. I sense immortal was not just an action or fantasy feels. I was a meditation on the nature of humanity itself. Its cultural legacy remains unstuck through immortality. Is now a divine gift book, the result of noble deeds, courageous choices, and lively life. We purpose, like Jesus, every human being has the potential to rise above their limitation and leave behind a legacy that time canon errors